my Monday follow-up meeting and community follow-up and Q&A meeting. I was unfortunately not available earlier on at 9:30 UTC +2, but I am available right now. I did post in Slack that I will be running a bit late. So here we are, and this is the weekly or the event that I run 3 times a week for our members, and you guys are more than welcome to join me in a live meet or at on Twitch, of course. So I'm just going to post an update here saying also live on Twitch channel. Right, and probably post a link to that. Right, so here we are. We can just do this, and here we go. Yes, so here we are, live on Twitch, and let's talk a little bit about what is going on in the community at the moment. Yes, here I am. There we go. So what is going on in the community? Well, a few things. Let's see if we can. I think I need to mute myself. Right. Sorry, I was in the wrong place. Yeah. So what's going on in the community? A few things. We are slowly gaining control over the various parts of the community that are essential for us to have control over. And of course, the question that you might ask yourself is, who is us? Well, it's the board of trustees and myself. I was appointed as the CEO of this organization in April. So it's been almost 2 months now. And unfortunately, we are still not in full control of all different parts because the handover has been fairly slow, which is unfortunate because we do have a fairly ambitious agenda. Yes, I need to update the title. Thank you very much for that. I totally missed that. I will blame it on stress or running late, basically. Thank you very much, Raisin, for bringing that to my attention. Let's see. We're just gonna have to go over here to the let's see. There we go. Where are we? There we are. And we're just gonna go to Stream Manager, edit stream info, and of course, right, that's a bit of a shame. Right, but now we are updated. Thank you very much, Raisin. Hooah! Monday, what are you gonna say? Right, so here we are talking about that. Yes, we are gaining control, so there was a lot of administrative stuff going on. I'm taking a lot of meetings with a lot of old members and new members and so on. I'm happy to announce that we have brought another streamer on board that will have a very modest but still sponsorship deal with Agile Ventures. So I'm very happy about that, and that would be Verena, and she streams on, let me just see if I can pull this up. Right, this is her channel, and she does a lot of Flutter development, and I don't know much about Flutter, but I do know that it's an up and coming application framework for mobile application development. It's been around a few years. It's in second release at this point, and there's some pretty interesting stuff happening in that ecosystem. So if you guys are into mobile application development, definitely follow her on Twitch and hook up with her, of course, on Agile Ventures Slack if you have any questions about Flutter. Yeah, so that's the newest on that front, on the front of Twitch. And of course, you know, we do have a channel for Agile Ventures. It has not yet been activated, but I would definitely encourage you to follow Agile Ventures as well. And yes, Hikaru is definitely a follower of mine. I watch Hikaru a lot. You know how I am, Raisin. I'm a wannabe, chess player. And sorry, I missed your invite, or your comment about playing some chess. I'm definitely up for it. Not today during office hours, unfortunately, because I'm a bit busy. But I very much look forward to get my ass kicked in chess by you. It was fun last time. It will be even more fun next time. Right, so that would be that. And in terms of our upcoming course, we've had a little bit of a setback because of a personal matter for one of the head coaches. So we are falling a little bit behind on schedule, but we are pushing it, of course. We've been recording a lot of, or I've been recording a lot of videos for the preparatory part of the course. The bulk majority of the course will be, of course, held live. That's the general idea, but we also want to pre-record some of the introductory sections, and most importantly, the sections for our community teaching assistants. So I've been busy doing that over the weekend, and since I am playing it solo at this point, because one teaching assistant is on vacation and the other one had this personal thing, and I totally respect that. So we need to play a little bit of catch up. But the schedule is all set. We start July the 6th, so we have plenty of time to get everything in order before it is time for us to get going. And again, if you know anybody, or if you're interested in joining this course, we still have a few spots left for the active participation, but you will be also able to audit this course without coach support, but just going through the material. So the general idea is that we will live stream all coach-led sessions, record them, upload them to YouTube, and make them available for people that for some reason missed the live stream. So nothing will get lost. Of course, that's the general idea. Right. Now, in terms of programming and coding, we are doing quite a few things. Oh, that's not the right one. Not Agile Ventures. That's the one. Touch PS, hello, how are you doing? Well, thank you very much. I was just about to talk a little bit about Website 1. So you came in the right moment. There are two things that I would like to update the community about. One is the Website 1 project, and the other one is the local support project. And it happens to be that way that these two projects are the longest running projects in at Agile Ventures. Local support was the very first project that was started when the community was originally organized back in 2013, and the Website 1 project was started by me in 2014, I think. Then I moved away from Agile Ventures. Now I'm back, and now I'm rebooting this thing. Now, if there is a roadmap for website one, yes, in a way, yes, in a way, no. Well, um, the uh, the general idea of website one, oh, sorry, that's also the wrong one. I need to switch to agileventures.org. Right. So if we take a look at the website one project, and I can send this out in PDF format later on if you're interested. Now, if we look at the website one project, the general idea that I have is that this website is supposed to function as, of course, the main website for the community, but also an entry point for community members. Now, and there's been so many discussions over the years of what this project or what this website should do, and the previous management was really perhaps not so interested in this project over the last few years, and it allowed it to become a bit of a kitchen sink project, or just a basic dump for all sorts of information. What I'm looking for is to serve a few, serve a purpose. Let me just go out of the full screen. There must be a purpose with a project like this now, and in my opinion, this project needs to deal with community information and onboarding new members. That's really important. Imagine you're new to the community, you need to know what we're all about, or even before you become a member, you need to know what we're all about, what our goals are, and why we exist in the first place. And when you become a member, you need to be assisted in some sort of onboarding, right? You want to start learning, or you want to start participating projects, and so on and so forth, right? So that should be the purpose of this website. Now, another thing which is part of onboarding, or part of the ongoing activities, is of course event management. We're a distributed team, and we need to make sure that there are things for our members to do, to tap into, or to organize themselves. And so event management is really, really important. And since everything is done this way, like with Google Meet or on Twitch, we need to support that one way or another. And then, and this is in in the order of priority, in my opinion, we also need to have a project repository that showcases what we are working on and what sort of projects a member can contribute to. And we have that, but it's, to be honest, pure shit at this point. We need to rethink that and make it much, much better. So project repository is important. Well synchronized with event management, of course, but also with GitHub and issue trackers and so on, right? And we have parts of that, but it doesn't work super properly. And then, of course, we would like to have a member directory. And why? Well, let's say that you're new to Agile Ventures. You want to know more about the people behind a project. Let's say you found a project that you would like to work on, and you want to know more about the people involved. Then we want to be able to present those members and those community organizers in a proper way. Perhaps you want to showcase projects that you've been working on, or include your membership of Agile Ventures in your CV. Then we would like to map or have a place where we can present your contributions and how much, for how long you've been involved, and so on. So a member profile and a member directory is really important, in my opinion, so that we can, foster collaboration, but also support our members in their career development. And these are the four things, right? Community information, event management, project repository, and member directory. And if we look at all of these things today, they are not up to standards. I don't think that the community information is well structured. It's hard to find information on our website today. It doesn't really serve a purpose that I just outlined. If we look at the event management, there are things that are very much legacy, that are broken because things has changed in terms of technology and so on. I cannot automate the participant index of each event. There is no Twitch integration. The Google Calendar export is not working, and so on and so forth, right? So that is not really up to speed. The project repository is in a miserable state today, and we need to fix that because there is so much at stake. And the member directory is also substandard. What I did this weekend was to basically run a query against all the member tables that we have stored in our database, and every member that has not been logged into this website for the last 6 months were tagged as inactive. So we hid them away from the members listing, and so from, I don't know, 11,000 members, we are down to 1,648. That kind of more reflects what, how many people are actually involved in this community. So that's one thing. I do see that we have a lot of spammy signups, and so we need to make sure that this is not happening. So we will impose account confirmation or email confirmation and reCAPTCHA or what have you, right? So this is definitely important for us to work on. If we take a look at the projects, I also started to look into UI improvements of this this page, but also the page where we present projects. I went in and removed quite a few projects or marked them inactive because they were either spammy or simply not active for a very long time. I still feel that we have some weird stuff, so I'm definitely gonna have to go in there and remove this one, for instance, right? So there's a lot of manual work going on. We've been discussing together with Mike, for instance, that if you want to start a project, a community organizer or an admin of this website needs to actually approve it before it goes live and so on, right? So there are a lot of things we can improve upon. So that was a very long answer to your very short question whether there's a roadmap or not. TouchPS, but hopefully it gave you a little bit of insight of how I'm thinking about this project moving forward. And I, would really appreciate if you could go into the website one channel on Slack and just get involved. All hands on deck at this point. We need as much help as possible. I recreated the Kanban board on GitHub. We used to have Pivotal Tracker set up for this one that was abandoned in favor of Waffle. Then Waffle went overboard, and then somebody created a Kanban board here on GitHub, and that was filled with a massive amount of to-dos without actually being worked on. Or also not a very transparent system, so I just couldn't wrap my head around it. So I just closed everything and created a new one, since we are rebooting this project either way. So that's the spirit at this point. Right. So that's website one for you. Then there is another project, and that project is called Local Support. The Local Support project, as I mentioned before, is one of the longest running projects at AGILEVENTURES with, well, it says 95 people contributing to this one over the years, which is quite a lot. This is now used as a backend system for a community website that we are building for Kensington City Council something, and they need the map of various non-profits being displayed on their website. So we are trying to come to grips with this project's setup and in and out, all the different weird stuff. And I've opened this Pandora's box a week ago and noticed that we had a majority of the tests failing for us, even though this is a fairly well-tested code base. Things that were broken and didn't really work for us, at all. But we are in a green state, despite what the PR says. This pull request that is called test PR test fixes 1422 is the one to go. What is failing right now is not the tests, but rather the simple carve test reporter or test metric reporter, and we need to solve that. I tried to do it last night. I'm not a great fan of simple carve, and nor am I an expert, so I am hammering or trying to get through that error. But this is a work in progress. Later today we have a meeting with the client that wants to use this backend, and hopefully we will get a commitment to expand an ongoing project already with a few £1,000s. So it's a paid project that we are running for this non-profit. So we'll see about that. And these are the two projects that are currently running and being actively worked on by me and some other developers. And again, there is a local support channel that you can get involved in. I set up Travis CI again for this particular project, so we can have continuous integration up and running. Right, I think that's about what I had to say at this point in terms of follow-ups. And yeah, that's about it. If you guys have any questions, fire away. I am here to answer them. This is a very short event. Generally speaking, we try to keep this to a half an hour for most part. Yeah, Travis is good. I was thinking about porting this over to Semaphore 2.0, which is a very Travis-like interface. But I ruled against that. I stick to Travis actually. If we have an updated page on how to set up website 1 locally, not really updated. The previous instructions are pretty much in place still. We should be good on setting that up. Yeah, you can set up website 1 using Docker. You can Dockerize the whole thing. I haven't done it, so I'm not the right person to ask. But there should be something in docs. Let's see, let's have a look at docs. Right. Project setup. Right. So it depends, of course, on your setup of your local host, but pretty much this is kind of what you're supposed to do if you run a. I can never guarantee anything on Windows, unfortunately, but if you do OS X or Linux, you should be good to go. And once you've done it, you need to right, we're not even using reCAPTCHA, so I don't even understand why this is, but just to make sure, you should probably add these settings, and you should be pretty much good to go to run it, although let's see, we have, yeah, you should be good to go. You should be good to go. Yep. I don't think there's much else. If there is something that is missed from this setup, then just let me know, and I'll send you those variables, environmental variables that needs to be set. Right, right. Spec Jasmine. Right, right. You should be good to go. Let me know in the website one channel how it works out for you. Have we worked on anything together? Are you a long time member, or is this the first time we interact? Touch PS. Now, one thing that is, a very weird thing to do or to get started with, but if you want to do something, if you look at the code base and the okay, all right, cool. But we haven't worked, or I mean, at the interview back and okay. Oh, so you follow me on Twitch as well, so then you should. Then we kind of work together a little bit at least. Anyway, if you look at the specs folder, there is a lot of specs that are redundant nowadays, I would say. But one thing that any member could start with is to start refactoring those specs, because there are a few stylistic issues here, and we can do a separate meeting about this, of course. But like, first of all, I never accept. Usually, never. Nothing is. I'm gonna tell you. Like, first of all, like controller specs are out of. They are just bad to write, in my opinion. We should write acceptance tests or unit tests only, and acceptance tests are written in Cucumber in this project, and unit tests, of course, are written in RSpec, right? Helper specs like this one could serve a purpose, in my opinion. But if we look at the structure of a spec like this, for instance, like having multiple expect statements in each it block, where it feels really weird. So that is definitely up to for refactoring. If you want to have multiple assertions, then you should break it up in different it blocks. This is also, this could be extracted into one-liners and tested in a different way, in my opinion. This structure is much better, where you have a before block and then single it blocks. However, we should avoid using the should format here. The best practice that I usually or that I want to introduce into this project as well is to say it is expected to, and then contain something, or some sort of a notation, right? Hello UT61, how you doing? So that's one thing. Code formatting, this frozen string literal, of course, is important. If we take a look at, if we go back from helpers into the running, like if we go to model specs, let's take a look at that, which are actually very relevant. Language project spec, if we take a look at that one, this has been a bit probably refactored already, partially at least. Validate, right? So you see there's code repetition here, line 5 and line 12. They are not using using factories, using factory bot. This should be extracted into let, a new language, and so on. This is redundant. you don't have to say factorybot.create because we are inserting that into the Rails helper already. So it's enough if you just say create project, and so on and so forth, right? And again, it is expect to validate uniqueness of languages and so on. But also, all of these tests could be rewritten using pseudo matchers, which is basically a one-liner. And so we would get A, less code, B, faster execution of the test suite. So this is not really cool, and so on. So there's a lot of things that you can start working on without actually creating any new functionality, but rather improving of the quality of the code base. Here, for instance, we are using pseudo matchers already, but then again, there are some other stuff in this one that could be definitely improved upon. The before mentioned exclusion of the module itself, and so on, right? So, and again, it's expected to be valid. There are small things, but they are not insignificant in any way, in my opinion. But I did call for some action in the website one channel on Slack. If you want to get involved in this kind of small refactorings just to get to know the code base a little better, then this is definitely a good start, one would say. Right. Now we are running a little over time. UT61, how's everything going for you? The React.js path, are you making progress? Would love to hear about that. You're doing fine. Went for an interview for visa the 8th, returned that 9th. Still no news. Everything should be resolved this week. Besides that, finished Net.js implementation with testing, only integration at the moment. Gave up on component once, okay. Started conversion to single page application. Hopefully testing here will be a bit more nice without workarounds around workarounds. Yes, I totally feel you. So component tests are a bit tricky sometimes, but you know, if you're interested with that at some point, if you have any sort of code base, send it my way. We can set up a stream around writing component tests just for the sake of it, right? We can do a few experiments. Perhaps we learn something. Usually, when you write component tests in React, that for components that rely on, for instance, Redux or some other application state management, that could be a bit tricky, you know. Yeah, so you know, just ping me in Slack, and we can set something up. You're not being stupid, and you definitely, every component is testable. Trust me, every component is testable one way or another. But of course, there are standards that you can follow to make them more modular and so on. So don't beat yourself up too much about that. So that's Agile Ventures for you. Yes, you definitely haven't. I'm sorry about that again. As I mentioned before, that we're running a little bit behind because of vacations, and also Mike, my wingman, had a family situation that he needed to attend to over the last week, and so we are falling behind with things. I'm sorry about that, reason. We'll get you all covered soon, which I said last week as well, but you're gonna have to trust me on this one. Sorry about that. Right. What else can I say? For those of you who just joined, we are talking about AgileVentures.org. It's a charity organization that tries to bring together programmers or people who are interested in programming or different levels of programmers, and have them work together on various open source projects. But apart from that, we're all about learning, and one thing that we're doing now is to promote our summer initiative, and that's the Work to Web Summer Camp 2021. Raisin here is going to take part in that. It's a 9-week long instructor-led, not pre-recorded stuff that you can find on the web, but instructor-led course that will cover the basics of web development, web architectures, software as a service, as a delivery model, and most importantly, agile methodologies. So we're gonna work on that. It's gonna be twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 1.5-hour sessions, and then on weekends we will have support sessions, co-study, and so on. Hopefully it will be fun, and we will all learn something from it. And you will be issued a certificate at the end, and a personalized letter of recommendation should you want to include that into your CV when you look for employment. It's gonna cover for me, it's gonna do it for me now today. I will be back online coding during the week. UT61, if you want to set up that session and take a look at some component testing in React, I'm all yours. I am kind of in semi-vacation mode, so I'm not always around, but for most part I am checking Slack. So if you haven't signed up for Agile Ventures yet, do that, and you will get a Slack invite, and you can start communicating and collaborating on projects. Thank you very much. Same to you, UT61. Have a fantastic day, everyone. Keep on coding and keep on testing and have fun. I talk to you later. And Raisin, later tonight perhaps we can do that chess challenge together. You can whoop my ass again. I did win once, but then you whoop my ass. All right, be cool, guys.